Hello, and thanks for joining me for the Debarkation Presentation. And first of all, let me say thank you so much for choosing Disney Cruise Line and sailing with us on our first season to the beautiful ports of Alaska. I've talked to so many of you around the ship, and everyone has enjoyed all of these gorgeous ports. Tracy Arm Fjords, Skagway, Juneau, Ketchikan, and everyone's just really thrilled about maybe coming back and doing it again. So we hope to see you again real soon. But again, on behalf of the entire company, thank you so much for choosing us. Over the next few moments here, I'm going to be covering a lot of information that's going to help make your transition from ship to shore as seamless as possible. I'm going to be going through all sorts of things with our debarkation process, talking about customs, going through immigration, luggage handling, even transportation. So a few topics to get through, so please stick with me. But before I jump into all that fun stuff that we're going to talk about, I just want to take a moment to say, far too often at the end of the cruise, a lot of our guests go back to their rooms, they start packing, they get their luggage out, and then they sit in the room and start to feel sad because they think that the vacation is over, the cruise is over. You know what? The cruise is not over yet. We still have tons of entertainment coming your way, lots of crew members that are waiting to see you and give you those last goodbyes and hugs, so make sure that's not your family. Make sure you guys come on out and enjoy all of your cruise experience all the way to the end. So don't sit in the room, don't mope, come on out and have a good time with us. Now, I also want to make sure that I talk about all of our world-class entertainment that we have coming your way, folks. I know there's a lot more coming, so make sure you come on out and enjoy that world-class entertainment. And while I talk about the entertainment, I certainly trust that you have enjoyed all the entertainment that we brought you here on board the ship. From our first run movies, our 3D experience in the movie theaters as well. I know a lot of you have experienced that for the first time, and people have absolutely raved about it, so thank you so much for that. I know that everyone's enjoyed our Alaskan Naturalist series here on board. Even the guest presenters that we've had, all just really educating us and teaching us a lot about this run that we just went through in Alaska. So I trust that you enjoyed that entertainment as well. Our Junior Rangers program for the kids up in the Oceaneer Lab, I know they've had a wonderful time learning about the culture and all the education here of Alaska. Our incredible variety entertainers that we brought you to make sure that we entertain the families and the adults out there. A couple of those variety entertainers providing adult only shows just for you, so I know that you enjoy that as well. Our theme nights, our deck parties, our world-famous Disney characters, and of course, who can forget those beautiful Broadway-style world-class production shows in the Walt Disney Theaters. Talking about the Golden Mickeys, Toy Story the Musical, and of course, Disney Dreams and Enchanted Classic. I really hope you enjoyed all that, folks, and don't forget, come on out and enjoy all of the entertainment until the end. Now, I want to talk about some of the collateral that you're going to be receiving in your room that's going to complement the talk that I'm giving to you right now. You're going to receive your welcome home letter. This is going to be delivered to your room as well. Make sure you read that. It's going to give you a lot of information that you're going to need. You're also going to receive your customs declaration form, a Canadian custom declaration form, and also for all the U.S. citizens out there that are traveling back to the U.S., you'll also receive your U.S. customs form, so make sure you get that as well. You're going to receive a gratuity form, and I'm going to get into the details of that in just a few moments. Then, of course, you're going to receive your luggage tags, and I'll talk about that more because there's a little bit to go into there. And, of course, the all-important guest comment card. This is how you're going to give us our feedback and tell us how much you love the cruise and what we can do to hopefully make it better for you the next time you come. Now, first, I want to talk about docking. Now, tomorrow we're going to be docking in Vancouver, we're going to be docking in Vancouver, the Port of Vancouver, and just to let you know, Vancouver morning, it is an early morning for a lot of us here, and we know that everyone is going to be running around trying to get those last-minute things done, and we know that it's an early morning, and want to let you know that some of the times that are stipulated to us are given to us and stipulated to us by the port authorities. So we want to thank you so much in advance for your cooperation and helping us speed up that process. Now, we're going to be docking around 6 a.m. in the morning. It takes us a little while to tie up the vessel. Then what happens is the port authorities come on board and they're going to grant us clearance. Once we receive that clearance, we're hoping to send our first guest ashore at around 7:30 in the morning, okay? You're going to debark the Disney Wonder, the same place where you got on, and that's going to be on deck 3 midship. And we're going to do something a little different. A lot of you that have sailed with us out of Port Canaveral, we do something very different here. We're going to be departing by character-colored luggage tags, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Now, we expect to have all 2,500 plus of you off the ship by 9:30 in the morning. And then what happens is we have to turn the ship around. Our housekeeping team, they are hard at work making sure the rooms are turned around. The food and beverage teams, they're getting everything, all provisions ready for our next group of guests, because at 11:45, that next group of 2,500 plus, they're going to be coming on board to enjoy their Alaskan adventure. So again, thank you so much in advance for your cooperation with helping us through this very important process. Now I'd like to talk about your breakfast, because everyone wants to get up in the morning and have that well-deserved breakfast that's going to help you and help you travel on to your next destination. So here's how breakfast works. Wherever you're having dinner on the final night of the cruise, that is where you'll have breakfast on the final morning of the cruise, okay? You want to check with your head servers at the restaurants on that final night, and they'll let you know exactly where you're going to be dining. Now, there's one exception to this rule, and I actually love this exception. If you're dining in Palo on the final night of the cruise, first of all, prepare yourself for a meal like no other. Enjoy that meal, and then know that you are going to have breakfast where you were intended to have your final dinner. So if you're eating in Palo on the final night of the cruise, your breakfast is going to be served in the restaurant where you were intended to have your final meal, okay? Again, check your dining tickets. Check with your head server, because they'll be the best ones to make sure you know where you're having breakfast, okay? Now, a public service announcement right now, if I may. Tuesday morning, that's the Port of Vancouver morning, when we get back to Canada, all the stores on board the ship will be closed. That means you want to make sure you take care of all of the shopping, all your shopping needs. You know, all those folks back home that were a little bit jealous of you because you were going to Alaska, you were going to answer Jack London's Call of the Wild. They said, hey, make sure you bring me back one of those t-shirts with the orca whale on it. Or maybe they just wanted some earmuffs that reminded them of Alaska, or some sort of little memorabilia piece. Well, make sure you do all that shopping anytime up until the morning of Canada, because all the stores will be closed. So finalize all your shopping. Treasure Catch, Radar Trap, Mickey's Mates, everything will be closed when we reach Canada, all right? So there is one exception to this rule. Shutter's Photo Gallery, they will be open on Tuesday morning. You're probably asking why. Our Canadian Customs and Port Authorities have allowed us this exemption because they realize that family portraits are still being taken all throughout the cruise, all the way up to that final night of the cruise, and all those portraits need to be developed and things like that. So, Shutter's Photo Gallery will be open on the morning of debarkation from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Now, a quick hint. So you're not one of those guests that is up at the Shutter's Photo Gallery trying to rush to those last-minute photos. Go ahead and try to handle that anytime up until that final day of the cruise. That way you can get all your photos and be ready to go once we start debarking on Vancouver morning. Now we're going to move into your onboard accounts, all right? On that final morning of the cruise, we will reconcile your accounts, and your final statement will be delivered to your staterooms between 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. on that final morning of the cruise. You're going to get your statement. Just make sure you please read through it, and if you have no discrepancies, go ahead and fold that statement up, put it in your purse, put it in your pocket, put it in your briefcase, and take that home with you. There's no need for you to come by the guest services desk. Now, if you do have any questions, make sure you please stop on by the guest services desk located on Deck 3 midship, and we can answer any of those questions for you. Now, we also know that about 90% of you out there have signed up for our express checkout service. That means you've given us your credit card. So coming on the final day of the cruise, you don't even have to come by the front desk or the guest services desk. We'll go ahead and tally everything up, put it in your statement, and send it to your room. You look it over. If everything's kosher with you, go ahead and fold it up, put it in your pocket. Don't have to come by the guest services desk. If you do have any questions, make sure you stop on by the guest services desk located on Deck 3 midship. Now, if you plan to settle up your account by other way than the credit card that you gave us, maybe cash or traveler's checks, we ask that you kindly finalize your account by 8 a.m. on the final morning of the cruise, okay? The next place I want to talk about is an area on board the ship that falls under my umbrella of responsibility, and I've met so many children on board that have absolutely had a great time, and I know when the children are having a great time, guess what? The parents are having just as much fun. And that's why our youth activities team, we know that they are unmatched anywhere else in the cruise industry by way of dedicated counselors that we have on board, by number of programs, by number of the actual open hours that we offer as well. They are unmatched anywhere in the cruise industry, and we are so proud of our youth activities program here on board. The team does a phenomenal job up there taking care of all the kids in the Flounders Reef Nursery, the Oceaneers Club, the Oceaneer Lab, Vibe, and even the Edge, taking care of all age of your kids. And like I said before, if the children are having fun, we know that the parents are having the time of their life. So, if you utilize our youth activity service, you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you drop off your wristband, your Mickey band. The kids received a Mickey band when they came on board. You want to make sure you drop that Mickey band off. Now, here's the catch. You don't want to leave it in your stateroom. You don't want to leave it with your stateroom host. You don't want to take it to guest services. We need you to bring that Mickey band back to Deck 5, the Oceaneer Lab or the Oceaneer Club. The last time you pick up your children, make sure you drop that Mickey band off, okay? Now, there's also going to be a Mickey band drop table on the final night of the cruise, right there on Deck 5, right in front of the Oceaneer Lab. Make sure you drop that off. They're going to give you a receipt. Once you get your receipt, you make sure you turn it in, and that way you won't be charged for it. And I bring this up because the youth activities team, they are the team that are responsible for making sure that you receive that receipt. So again, the last time you pick up your child out of the space, make sure you drop off that Mickey band and pick up your receipt. Now, while I'm talking about that, you also want to make sure that if you use the wave phones, any of the wave phones in your staterooms, make sure you leave those either on the charger or on the desk in your room. If you leave it out in the desk in your room or on the charger, this way the stateroom host will be able to verify that you have left that wave phone behind and you won't be charged that. But once again, back to our youth activities team, we know they've done a great job here on board, and I just personally like to give them a big round of applause. So if you're sitting down, go ahead and put those hands together right now. Youth activities, you rock, you rock. There's nobody here. Okay, so moving on, we've got more that we're going to get into for you folks. We talked about the wave phones. Make sure you leave that behind. And now what I want to talk about is luggage. So here's how luggage works. You want to make sure you have your luggage outside your stateroom by 10:30 p.m. on the final night of the cruise, okay? That's for everyone on board. If anything that you want us to take into the terminal for you, make sure you put it outside your stateroom by 10:30 p.m. Now, everyone is going to receive their new colored character luggage tags, all right? Before I talk about this, I want to tell you something that's very, very important. Make sure you take off the old luggage tags before you put these on, okay? Our team out there in the terminal, they are very efficient. If you leave those old luggage tags on, you'll put it outside your room, and all your luggage will come back on board for another Alaskan cruise without you. So, our rule of thumb, off with the old, on with the new. We know there's a lot of you out there that like to brag about where you've been and where you're going. Girlfriend, I went to Hawaii. Girlfriend, I went to Spain. Girlfriend, I went to Alaska. Girlfriend, we don't care. It just confuses everybody. So make sure you take off those old luggage tags and put on the new colored character luggage tags for us, all right? Now you want to put one tag on each piece of luggage. Now if you turn it over on the back of the tag, we need all this information from you, okay? Make sure you put your the first thing it asks for is the number of pieces of luggage. So let's say you have 3 pieces of luggage. So you want to put 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and then 3 of 3. This will make it very easy for you to identify and find all your luggage together once you get into the terminal, all right? This is also a great place to put your stateroom number on here and your name and address, all right? Make sure you put all that on there as well. A little hint for you, because we're all going to be debarking by colored character tags, I would put one of these in your pocket, all right? The color of your tags that you put on your luggage, put it in your pocket so that way you don't forget what colored luggage tags you had, okay? That's just a little quick hint from me to you. Now, also, when you're packing, make sure that you're adhering to those strict TSA guidelines that are set by the airlines by way of liquids and gels. Just a quick reminder about that while you're packing. And then breakables and valuables. You want to wrap them nicely and maybe even carry them with you. And I say wrap them nicely, but do us a huge favor. Unwrap them out of the towels that are ours right now. I know a lot of you have wrapped them in those nice bathroom towels that we give you. You can't take them home. That's right. You're busted. We know exactly who you are. You know what I'm talking about. Go on and take them out. There you go. Make sure you leave those towels here for us, folks, but wrap them in something nice. Maybe wrap them in a T-shirt of yours, but make sure you keep your breakables and valuables wrapped very nicely there. Any of your hand luggage, okay? In your hand luggage, this is what you want to put in your hand luggage. Anything that you'll need during the next 24 hours, okay? Anything you need over the next 24 hours, put that in your hand luggage. Your medical supplies, any toiletries and things like that, travel documents, your key to the world card, make sure you keep that with you because you have to swipe off when you get off the ship. Any of your customs and declaration forms, make sure you keep that out. Your passport, you're going to have to show that to the customs officials when you go through our Port of Vancouver customs immigration. So make sure you keep that in your hand luggage. An extra luggage tag so you remember exactly what your color character luggage tag was. A lot of guests ask, can I carry my own bags off? Absolutely. It's something we call our express walk-off system. If you want to carry all your luggage with you, that means you'll be one of the first guests to walk off the ship. Once the ship is cleared, we'll make an announcement saying guests with express luggage, express walk-off, that are carrying their own luggage, you'll be able to leave the ship right when we clear the ship. So if you want to carry all your luggage, you can. You'll be on that express walk-off system, okay? Remember, this is very important as well because it happens every cruise. Even though we put the talk on and we try to make sure everyone understands this, remember to keep something out to wear. You guys get so efficient in there. Mom is packing everything nice and neat. She puts in the kids' clothes. She puts in dad's clothes, grandpa's clothes. No clothes for anybody to wear when they wake up in the morning. Make sure you leave something out to wear for everybody, okay? That's just another little hint. We've been out here for a long time. We see it happen every cruise. So make sure you leave something out to wear. Next thing we want to talk about, folks, is customs, declaration, and immigration. Now, when you walk off the ship, you want to claim your luggage first before going through customs, okay? You're all going to receive a Canadian Customs Declaration form. Everyone's going to receive it. Up to 4 guests traveling together, and if you live at the same address, can all go on one form. If you need additional forms, those forms can be found at a stand right in front of the guest services desk, located on deck 3 midship. Now, when you're down there, if you're waiting in line just to get one of these forms, you don't have to wait in line. You can go ahead, that's right up there in the corner, by the front desk, there's going to be a stand there that has the customs declaration forms on there. Again, just go up there and grab one if you need an extra one, okay? For all those guests that are flying back to the United States of America, if you want to get a quick jump on everything that you're doing, go ahead and make sure you grab a United States Customs Declaration form and fill that out, and then all of your paperwork will be filled out, okay? When you're going through customs, here's another quick hint for you. I would have the head of the household have all of the IDs and all of the customs forms together. So have all the passports, have all of the customs declaration forms, have it all ready so you can present it to the official, and it will make everything smooth for everybody going through. The head of the household. So what I'm saying is, all the ladies, you should gather all the documents and you keep them together and you present everything to the customs officials, and I guarantee you'll have a seamless transition going through customs, okay? Also, make sure that you're adhering to the strict policies on fresh produce, fresh food produce. Department of Agriculture has recently increased their fines, and you cannot take any fresh food or produce ashore. Hope you heard me there. No food ashore. Now, the customs officials are a little bit more understanding when it comes to baby formula and baby foods, but when it comes to other foods and things like that, don't take it off the ship. To be safe, leave the bagels, coffee, Fruit Loops, bananas, leave that on board. Don't walk off the ship with it. If you do, I don't want to see anyone have a $50,000 banana. It will be the most expensive banana that you've ever had, so it better be good. Okay? Now I want to talk about something that can sometimes be a sensitive topic, but I'm going to do my best to make it nice and clear. I want to talk about gratuities. Now here at Disney Cruise Line, we have 4 positions that we recommend our guests give gratuities to, and by way of just an appreciation for the crew's hard work and striving to make sure that this has been an overall excellent cruise for you. And let me go through those positions right now, if I may. Your first position is the head server. Your head server, they oversee the entire dining room section. They're in charge of the training of the servers and the assistant servers. They're in charge of making sure the special requests are taken care of. Any of your dietary needs, birthdays, making sure that all the birthday cakes and everything comes out on time, making sure that the anniversaries are recognized and things like that. That's what your head server, they're responsible for all those things. Then you also have your server. Your server, they're responsible for your food orders. They recommended that steak, or they recommended that Alaskan salmon, or maybe a wonderful dessert that you probably didn't need, but you took it anyway, because that's what they do. Making sure that you enjoy your vacation with your food orders. That's where your server comes in. They made sure that your food and everything was prepared right and delivered to your table nice and hot night after night. And then you also have your assistant servers. They took care of all of your drink orders. They assisted with the service. They made sure that the table was nice and clean throughout your entire meal. And then we have another group that really need no introduction. They are the first smile that you see in the morning, the last smile you see probably before you go to bed at night. They make sure that your stateroom is your home away from home. And I'm talking about your stateroom hosts. They are making sure that you guys are taken care of hand and foot, making sure the ones that make the little towel animals in your room. When you come back in the room, your earmuffs were on a monkey hanging from the ceiling. Very cool. They just made sure that you guys were taken care of in your room, and they are your stateroom hosts. And I know that some of you might have a stateroom host in your luggage right now. Please let that stateroom host out. They need to come out and do work. I know you want to take them home with you, but they need to stay here. Our stateroom hosts are absolutely excellent, and we know you love them. So a couple ways to take care of the gratuities for these 4 positions. The first is the most popular one. It is our gratuity form. Now, this is going to be delivered to your stateroom. You want to go ahead and just fill it out. Just read through it and fill it out. Times the number by amount of guests in your stateroom, including children. And then take that down to the gratuity drop box, which is located at the guest services desk on deck 3. The guest services team, they will take care of that. They'll send coupons back to your room, or if you wait there at the guest services desk, they'll give you your coupon. It's perforated right down the middle. You go ahead and rip it in half. One is for you, and then one you give directly to that crew member that you would like to recognize. All right? And then you also can use cash. You can put cash in envelopes that are clearly stated with the positions that you would like to show your appreciation to. You put that cash in the envelope and then just walk right up to that crew member and give them that thanks that they deserve. Now, we recommend that you take care of your crew members on the final night of the cruise. The reason why that is because the next morning you might leave the ship early and not see that crew member, or that crew member might be transferred or moved to a different section of the ship. So make sure you go ahead and take care of those crew members on that final night of the cruise. And like I said, folks, we trust that you've enjoyed the crew here on board. They have had a wonderful time with you. We certainly know that they are the number 1 crew in the 7 seas, and we also know that they are the number 1 reason that you continue to come back and sail with us time and time again. So thank you so much for showing your appreciation for our hard-working crew members here on board. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is something very important to us here at Disney Cruise Line. It's the all-important guest comment card. This is how we receive your feedback. Now, I know when I go on vacation, I never take the time to fill these out because I just think that no one really wants to hear about what I have to say. But I have to tell you here, folks at Disney Cruise Line, we really do care about what you have to say. And a lot of things have changed here based on your feedback. Talk about, first of all, this itinerary that we're on. For many years, a lot of you kept telling us, we want to go to Alaska. And now we're finally here. A lot of you kept telling us that we want to go to Hawaii. And that's where we're going next year. The Disney Wonder is going to Hawaii. You know, a lot of you kept saying we want different itineraries. We want new ships. Aha, the Disney Dream, and next year the Disney Fantasy will be launching. So a lot of things happen based on your guest feedback. And I tell you folks, we read each and every one of these comment cards. The comment cards come in, and by 6 p.m. on the same day that you get off the ship, we have shared the comments with our shipboard leaders, with our shoreside leaders, and we all talk about all the comments that we get. There's a lot of positive, and then there's a lot that can really help us improve. So we need your feedback. So please take a moment and fill this out for us, okay? The comment card will be delivered to your stateroom. There's drop boxes all around the ship. So once you fill that out, you go ahead and drop it off in one of the drop boxes, and we will take it from there. So I want to thank you in advance for helping us with this feedback. It's separated into a lot of different sections. You have the youth activities area, you have our entertainment area, you have the F&B, food and beverage area, housekeeping, everything is all on here. The Walt Disney Theater shows, Paulo's restaurants, everything is here, folks. So make sure you take a moment and read through that and let us know. Now, you can rate us in a couple different ways. There's a non-applicable. That means if you didn't see a show or you didn't use the spa or something like that, go ahead and circle, dot in non-applicable. That lets us know that you didn't do it. Otherwise, you have poor, just okay, good, very good, and excellent. So make sure you take a time to fill those out for us. And at the start of the cruise, the captain and I told you that it was the goal of our crew on board to provide you with an excellent overall cruise vacation. And we trust that that is what we've done, but we also appreciate your feedback regardless. So once again, please take a moment to fill that card out for us, okay? Now, a couple questions I want to talk about on here. One of them asks about the overall experience, okay? That is everything that we have control over here on board the ship, okay? Now, it doesn't include that taxi ride that you had on one of the port adventures, or maybe you went out on your own port adventure. You didn't book it through us and you went on a taxi ride and it didn't go the way you wanted to. We don't control that. The weather, hey, cold climate cruising, we enjoy the weather here in Alaska, but we don't control it. Now, we do plan on controlling the weather very soon, and when that happens, you all will receive an email saying that Disney finally controls the weather. No. That's not going to happen. But that question, overall, everything, your overall experience, everything that we control here on board, rate us on that, okay? And then also, there's my favorite question. Are there any crew members that made your experience magical? That is a wonderful question because that gives you a lot of power there, folks. Gives you a lot of ownership. You can tell us which crew members you want us to pat on the back, because they all deserve it, but we need to know which ones you really felt stood out for the cruise. So let us know. Write their name down, write their position, write their country. That lets us know, as leaders, we want to go up and give them that pat on the back they deserve from you. Now, you've watched a lot of us here on board grow throughout the years from one position to elevated positions on board, and a lot of that comes from your feedback. So the next time you come back, from the feedback that you give us about our crew and how well they're doing, you might see someone else elevated to a higher position. With growth in our company right around the corner, the Disney Dream is out now, the Disney Fantasy coming soon. We need new leaders, and we want you to be able to walk on board and be familiar with some of those leaders that you see. So once again, take a moment, fill that card out for us. I can't thank you enough for it right now, but thank you in advance for taking the time to fill out this all-important comment card. Okay, so now what I want to do is walk through a summary of what the final morning is going to look like for you, okay? You want to please make sure you vacate your staterooms by 8 a.m. Also, make sure that you leave your safe in an open position. What that does, that tells the stateroom host, that tells us that you have checked every place in your stateroom and you will not be coming back to the stateroom. So make sure you leave the safe open in that open position for us. It lets us know that you have checked everywhere. Now when I say that, make sure you do take the time to look through every little nook and cranny that you have in the room. Make sure you check all the drawers, open the closet, look under the beds. You don't want to leave anything behind, especially something that is your child's favorite, like a child toy or a blanket. You know what kind of journey you'll have home if you leave something behind. So make sure you collect all of your belongings before you leave your stateroom. Then you're going to head to breakfast at your assigned time. Make sure you check your welcome home letter, and that will give you your assigned time, but also make sure you check in with your head server the night before so you'll know what restaurant you're eating in and what time you're going to eat. After breakfast, we ask that everyone please wait in the various lounges around the ship. Our lounges are going to be comfortable there for you. We're going to have some cartoons on some of the screens and things like that. Make sure you wait in the lounges until your luggage tag has been called. Once your luggage tag has been called, you're going to disembark from deck 3 midship. That's the same area where we used to board the ship back on the first day of the cruise. Again, you want to please wait until you hear your luggage tag called. Do not gather in the lobby atrium. We like to keep that free-flowing for guests that are walking off the ship. Now, I want to tell you this because this is something that some guests do and they have to go through the whole process again. If you're in the luggage holding area, if you go off the ship into the terminal before your luggage tag has been called, that's a secured area out there in the terminal, and the customs official can send you back on board to go through the whole process again. So after breakfast, just wait in the comfort of our lounges until your luggage tag has been called. Okay? You will need your key to the world card for everyone in the family when you swipe off the ship. When you debark on deck 3, you will then go through customs first and then head to the luggage holding area. All right? I want to be very clear about this. The porters out there are not allowed to assist you with your luggage until after you've cleared through customs. Okay? So make sure you do that first. Again, make sure you have all your documents ready, your IDs, your customs form, your travel documents. Make sure you have everything handy. Again, like I said before, the head of the household, you should have everything so it can be nice and smooth with the customs official there for you. This will expedite your procedures throughout the terminal. Beyond that point, we have many ground transportation representatives out there. They're going to have their blue uniforms on, and they'll be able to help you with your onward journey, which could be one of the following options. If you need a taxi, there's plenty of taxis out there in the terminal. Something new, I want to let you know that taxis in Vancouver are only allowed to transport 4 guests at any one time. There are some minivans out there, some larger taxis, but they've been stipulated by the state that they can only transport 4 guests at one time. So make sure you're thinking about that if you're going to be taking a taxi in Vancouver. There's going to be a lot of reps out there from various rental car agencies, so if you need a rental car, there's someone there that can help you with that. There's only one way in and one way out, so there's really not too much to miss there. And again, they're going to have staff out there in their blue uniforms that will be able to assist you inside the terminal on your onward journey. Now, if you plan on utilizing the motor coach service heading to the Vancouver airport, again, look for some of those terminal reps out there in their blue uniforms. They'll point you in the right direction. Make sure you get on the same bus as your luggage gets on. So watch your luggage get loaded, and then make sure you get on that same bus. And your key to the world card, if you are utilizing that motor coach service, your key to the world card will act as your ticket to board the motor coach. So make sure you keep that out and handy. Also, when you debark the Disney Wonder, there's a lost and found desk right there behind the area where you swipe off the ship. So where you swipe off, right behind there is a lost and found area. So if there's something that you're looking for, make sure you stop over there. Also at this lost and found area, that's where you will pick up your ulu knives. Although a lot of folks collected these ulu knives or picked up an ulu knife in Alaska, and we probably held it for you throughout the cruise, this is where you will pick it up. Right there where you swipe off the ship, there's the lost and found there. That's where you will collect your Ulu Nodge. You can't miss that. Our back-to-back guests that are sailing with us, make sure that you read through the back-to-back guest letter that was sent to your stateroom. Read through that. Guests that are on early flights, you received another welcome home letter that has all your early flight information on there, so make sure you read through that. And early flights, there's any guests that are flying on flights that are earlier than 12:30. Now, you want to please make yourself known to guest services if we don't already know. It's all right? So if we already know that you're on a flight prior or before 12:30, we know it already. You don't have to come by. If there's guests out there who haven't made yourself known to us yet, make sure you come by the guest services desk and let us know. There's a different process for you, so make sure you do that, okay? Remember, we're going to be debarking by colored character tags. Wait in the lounge until you hear your tags called, okay? And remember, the Customs Border Protection, they will send you back on board if you've walked off the ship before your luggage tags have been called. Now, I think that's about all the information that we have here, but don't worry. If you missed out on anything, it's going to play over and over again. That way, you get all the information you need, or maybe you had so much fun this cruise, right now, you're having trouble falling asleep. So put this puppy on, and I guarantee within the next 10 minutes, you will be out like a light. Okay? So, folks, again, I want to say thank you so much for sailing with us. We hope to see you again real soon on our next cruise here, our next Alaskan adventure, and we hope that you've all had the time of your life. Our crew members have had a wonderful time with you, and as a matter of fact, they want to tell you. They put it in song. So enjoy this beautiful video from our crew here on board the Disney Wonder, and thank you so much for sailing with us.
I've been waiting for so long, and now I finally found someone to stand by me.
We saw the writing on the wall as we felt this magical fantasy.
Now with passion in our eyes, there's no way we could disguise secretly. So we take each other's hand, 'cause we seem to understand the urgency. Oh, just remember,
You're the one thing,
I can't get enough of.
so I'll tell you something.
This could be it, because I've had the time of my life.
No, I never felt this way before. It's hard to swear, it's the truth, and I owe it all to you.
Hey baby,
Hey baby, with my body and soul, I want you more than you'll ever know.
so we'll just let it go. Don't be afraid to lose control. No.
Yes, I know what's on your mind when you say, stay with me tonight.
Stay with me. Just remember, you're the one thing.
I can't get enough of.
So I'll tell you something. This could be it, because I've had the time of my life. of